What's going on YouTube? I am Jordan Xavier, a part-time photographer and videographer based in New York, and this is my first YouTube video. Very exciting stuff. So I figured for my first YouTube video, I would make a video about what I use in my bag. So first thing I want to get to is the bread and butter right there, which I am recording on right now, which is a Sony a7R II. I'm a recent convert from Canon. I went to Sony because of the lighter bodies, the fact that Sony seemed like they were innovating often and innovating a lot more than some of the other companies. There's a lot of reasons. I'll get into that in another video as far as some of the things that I do miss from Canon. But right now, if I was to be asked what camera company I would go with right now, I would probably say Sony. Connected to the Sony right now, I have the 16-35 f4. That's my lens that I use for landscapes, cityscapes. It's just my all-around wide-angle lens when I want to take like fancy symmetrical, geometrical, city shots. That's my go-to lens. A wrist strap from strapsbylrubes.com. He is based in Los Angeles. He makes these by hand. I learned about his company when I was actually living out there for a while. And it's dope. It's secure. It's made out of bungee cord. I have one in burgundy. It looks fire. It kind of goes with my bag as well as the little accents on the camera. I'm very happy with that. I'll put the link in the description. My tripod, or my main tripod at least, is a Mi Photo Road Trip. I spent a lot of time looking for a travel size tripod that was sturdy, that extended far enough, because I'm 6'4", and for it to be eye level it has to extend pretty far. This is the only tripod that really shrunk down small enough to fit into a bag, and that was still sturdy, tall enough. It just gets the job done all around. On top of the camera is a Rode VideoMic Pro. I use that for basically all of my video work. It's like my main source of audio. I also use this Zoom H1 connected to a lavalier mic for when I'm doing interviews for clients, or if I'm doing like an interview for a business or something like that. I will put the mic under the client's shirt, or ask them to put the mic under their shirt, because that would be weird if I just lift up the shirt and put a mic under. This is like my miscellaneous bag of goodies, and here I have like adapters, power adapters, the blower thing to clean off my lens, a little brush to clean off my lens. Why? Because you never know when you're gonna get water on your lens. Everything is in here. Release plates for tripods, and it's in a nice little Sony bag, because Sony camera, Sony bag, corny, lame as and I enjoy that. Next up is this Pelican SD card case, and there's not much to say about it except that it stores about 12 SD cards, a micro SD, whatever you want to use it for. When you're shooting 4K video, it takes up a lot of space, so you want to make sure you have enough space readily available for you to capture that footage or whatever and not run out. So it's always good to have an SD card case. It keeps them neat, organized, secure. Not so much mine, because I only have like 3 cards and it gets the job done, but if I did have more cards I would still use this, obviously. Next is this Joby Gorillapod. This is f***ing invaluable. I can't tell you all the times that this came up clutch. Like if you don't want to take your tripod, or you forget your tripod or your release plate like I do pretty much all the time. This is small enough to fit in my camera bag. It gets the job done. It holds up my camera, the lens, in the microphone. This has saved me so many times. If you want to do the Casey Neistat vlog in public thing and hold the Gorillapod out and put your camera on it and talk to your camera in public and vlog, you can do that. I don't do that because I'm too shy to even talk in public, so you probably won't ever see me vlog in public. But yeah, you could do that, and I highly recommend this to anyone who shoots photos or videos. So this is a Sony Zeiss 35mm. This is like my bread and butter. I keep this on the camera pretty much 70% of the time. I use it for portraits, for street, for landscapes even sometimes. I like the 35mm focal length on full frame. 2.8 is not really a wide enough aperture to give you that silky smooth out of focus background, but I do like to have the scenery in my portraits. I shoot more like lifestyle, editorial kind of portraits, environmental portraits, I guess you would call it. So this works well for me. Like I said, it's light, autofocus works great. It's my favorite lens, so there's that. This is a Canon FD 50mm 1.8. Now this is a lens from a Canon film camera that I have, the Canon AE1, which is up there somewhere. And this lens is okay. The only reason I use it, and the only reason I really have it is, the only reason I use it is because I have it, and I bought like a $10 adapter for it. So when I don't want to use a 35mm for portraits, I use this. It's not sharp. This lens is not known for its sharpness. It helps with the Sony camera because it has focus peaking, which gives you like a little zebra pattern on what's in focus when you're using vintage lenses. But even still, it's kind of hard to get like tack sharp focus on this. But when I do get like perfect focus on this, the photos come out so crisp. I love the Canon colors through this lens. It works sometimes, but I just have to be careful because a lot of the times it comes out slightly out of focus and it just bugs me. Also connected to my camera, which is invaluable as well, is the Anker PowerCore 2100, Anker PowerCore Plus 20100. And it's basically just an external battery pack, external battery supply. With the A7R III, you can charge it while you're using it, so it'll give you a little bit extra battery life. Also, I use it if I'm walking from one photo shoot to another or one destination to another. I'll just have it connected to my camera in the bag. It charges up pretty quick. It charges my MacBook Pro over here, which I'll get to in a second. I highly suggest always having a battery pack on you, especially if you're shooting with a Sony camera, because you can charge it through the micro USB port. Next up, I'm not going to spend time on these. These are just some Bluetooth headphones. Sony's, of course, because like I said, Sony bag, Sony camera, Sony PlayStation 4 upstairs. As you can tell, I kind of like Sony. These are the MDR XB950BT, I think. There's like a balance or regular sound, and then there's extra bass, which gives you like enough bass to give you a concussion, which I don't really use. I like to hear my lyrics. These are great headphones. I think I stepped on them or sat on them, so they're like completely broken, but they still work fine, and I would recommend them. External hard drive, of course, because you have to back up everything. Especially if you have a solid state drive, you probably don't have a lot of space on your hard drive on your computer, and it also helps to keep backups. This is my only hard drive. Everything that I've ever shot is on here. This is a 2 terabyte. Don't be like me. Please back up your backups. Do everything you can to retain your data, because if this crashes on me, and I need to get a new one. I'm just being hard-headed. I don't know why. I'm living dangerously, thug life. I listen to Pac every other day, so yes, don't be like me. Next up, this is probably one of the most important things in the bag, and if you don't have one, I really don't know what you're doing with your life, but you should definitely have this. It's detrimental to your health if you do not, and that is a Nintendo Switch. I play it when I'm on a train going to a photo shoot. I can play Stardew Valley, stuff like that. Oh damn, I just probably broke my headphones even more. The rug that really ties the room together. This is the 2017 MacBook Pro with the touch bar, and the touch bar is really helpful. Like, instead of the old Macs where it had the buttons to, you know, turn your volume up, and you would actually have to press the button all the way down to turn the volume up, now you can just touch the touch panel, and it saves you like so many nanoseconds. So it's a really useful thing. That was sarcasm, of course, if you didn't get it. One thing I do like it for is the Touch ID. Instead of having to type my password, I can just put my finger down and, you know, unlock it. I have the 2 gigabyte video card and the 256 hard drive, so it's not the highest version, but yeah, I do everything on here. Editing, watching Everyday Struggle, listening to Big Crit, whose Forever Is a Mighty Long Time album just dropped, and it's phenomenal, so listen to that if you haven't. I have this cheap like $15 case on it from Amazon. This is the hub because, of course, with the new Apple Dongle Book Pros, you have to have a hub for everything because it only has USB-C. So this is a Charging Pro. This has 3 USB 3 ports, HDMI, micro SD, and SD. And I understand that they wanted to do the whole USB-C thing, and I don't hate it as much as other people, but why the couldn't they include an SD card slot? That's all I asked for. Like, yes, if you have any questions about any of the gear that I talked about, or if you have any recommendations for me, if you like the video, hit like. If you hate the video, you hate my setup, it looks cheap, the video is cheesy, I talk too much, anything like that, you can give it a thumbs down. You can send me hate mail, we can fight, we can throw hands, whatever you want to do. But I will be back with more videos, so stay tuned. Peace. That was a lame ass outro. I need to work on an outro. But yeah, that's it.
I'm a chicken, so I'm gonna act like a chicken. Quack, 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 quack.
That's a duck. This just sounds like you will be a duck or a chicken.